It might be a bit obvious who your superhero is, but who's your superhero? Spider-Man. Right. Who's your superhero as a player? Like, who's your favourite player?
Daddy.
Who is it?
Daddy.
Right. There you go. Was it Cripper? It was Cripper. What about Ches? Ches had photos with you last year. Ches had photos with you last year, didn't he? And you got to sing the song as well. Been a good day. Yeah. Obviously, we're very fortunate to be playing in this game, as I'm sure Clarko's has shared. We don't take it for granted that we're part of this. The part of our build-up of the whole week has really been centralised around the real heroes that we have here, and obviously Ollie's been one of those for us over the last couple of years, and he's had his own little challenges as well, but it's been inspirational to be able to have him around and his family around over the last few days. So hopefully that's a memorable experience, isn't it, mate? So now, do you reckon they should ask me questions now? Yeah. All right. Unless you've got a question for him, you can sort of fire him back at me if you like. So,
what did you like most about the performance today?
I thought it was a really consistent performance. What we wanted to come here today was to really respect not just the game itself, but the opponent, and certainly had us on notice watching them play last week and how dangerous they are with the ball in hands, and they could do some damage out of their back half. So to be able to bring that sort of level of pressure and that level of consistency that we had across the whole day, and we had a couple of break moments, but given they challenged that space quite a fair bit, we were able to maximise some opportunities back the other way.
Charlie and Harry were dominant, to say the least. What did you make of their performance?
Oh, they were, but it's quite obvious thing to try and highlight those two particular individuals. But the story for mine was about sharing the load, and when you look at the ground level players, and we put a fair bit of energy in terms of how they bring the ball out of the back half, and I thought our smalls went to work really well. They were particularly impressive today. So not only defensively did they get the job done, but they were able to hit the scoreboard as well. So I think we had 11 goal kickers. You better wave, Mum. You're a wave, Mum. So we had 11 goal kickers today. So that was. So you like kicking goals, don't you? Yeah. So that was pleasing to be able to have that. If you look at the stats sheet again, they weren't massive stats by any stretch of the imagination, but everyone sort of took their turn when they needed to, which was probably the hallmark of the performance.
Well, we're talking about Curnow. He sort of came off. Is he okay?
Yeah, no, he's okay. He had about 5 minutes to go. It was Andrew Russell. I'm like calling that one. So. And he didn't fight me too hard. So when Charlie doesn't fight me too hard, he was happy to sort of put the cue on the rack with a couple of minutes to go. So, but he's fine.
So there's no actual issue. You wanted him just off the field.
Oh no, he had an ankle, so he did actually roll his ankle. Yeah, he did roll his ankle, and obviously come off the ground limping there. But they were restrapping it, and it was 4 minutes on the clock or whatever it was, and just sort of thought we'd park it.
Just on Harry, I know you don't want to highlight the individuals, but he just looks so much more confident at the moment. Just you can see when he's lining up for goal and everything, and it's showing in the results. Has something changed, or has he changed his technique, or is it a heart-to-heart conversation, or has something changed in the way, the method?
No, he went through a journey like all of us last year, and he found some challenges he had to work his way through, and it's amazing when you sort of take the time to probably work through that, and it doesn't always fall how you want it to in that particular time, but he's been able to do that. He's been able to use all of that, and now sort of putting in, refining his game, and you're right, he's as confident as I've seen him since I've been here. If anything, he's finally got some reward for a couple of great pre-seasons that he's had, and together, Elijah was one that's had a great pre-season, and so for him to play tonight was fantastic. Harry was another one who had an unbelievable pre-season, so to see that transfer now into the early part of the season, that's been particularly impressive.
You mentioned the Smalls and Elijah as well. A lot of players going through there playing really good games. Raz came on, he was brilliant as well. Does that make it really difficult going into next week, trying to work out what the best mix is there? It
does, but I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy to be able to have those tough conversations if they're needed. If we've got availability strong and we've got challenges for position, it's amazing how that sort of creates the momentum for you. So we're in great shape. You're never too sure how the bye goes. You know, it's a very unusual place to have it, but what we did want to do was work pretty hard up to the bye and get all our training done, and didn't have a lot of breaks. We used that to have a mental rest and also a physical rest, and we bounced into this week really well, and I couldn't fault their training over the course of the last couple of weeks, and that's where they've turned into professionals. They understand the preparation required on a weekly basis to be able to play consistent football, and that's what we haven't yet proved. We haven't proved that we're that consistent home and away team, and we only get to do that with time.
Can we assume Caleb Marchbank?
Yeah, he's in the concussion protocols.
Yeah,
Yep.
obviously,
Yep.
one's going to need to be replaced.
Yep.
Vossi, just a quick one. Obviously, there's a bit of a sizable distraction off you with the president and the interim report came through during the week. Are you guys finding it easy just to sort of compartmentalise and for that not to affect the club and the players next week?
I think so. Look, I can't sort of speak to the peripheral issues. All I can do is speak to the support and leadership that he's provided over a period of time, and he's been a fantastic leader, and I've spoken about Cookie and himself and over the last period of time, and he provided that stable hand for us. He's made some great decisions, and he's given us something to be able to launch from, and so I've only just been really impressed with how he's led our football club, and how I've lent on him from time to time. He's almost feel like he's sort of mentored me as well, and so that's all I can speak to, and I'm really grateful for his leadership and his friendship as well.
Is there any concern the way it might pan out from you?
No, not at all. I mean, look, our job is to get after what we can control as a footy team, and we got this job done, and we'll get into the next one, and we've been very good at being able to keep our eyes in as a football team and a football club, and we'll continue to do so. How you going there, mate? What do you reckon? You going good? That's your favourite footy, isn't it? You love that footy, don't you? Yeah? You're going all right, aren't you?
How'd you see Elijah Hollands' performance today, and how's he handled, I guess, the suspension and coming back into the fold?
He's, the first conversation I had with him when the deal obviously went through, that he came to us, was he gets a fresh set of eyes, and but what I do expect is you put your head down and you work hard, and you earn a respect through that way, and he's been fantastic at that. That's what he's done. I mentioned him about pre-season. Harry's been top three probably over the course of the pre-season, and Elijah's been one of them as well. So he's put his head down. He's gone about earning the respect of his teammates. What we saw tonight was probably what we've seen a fair bit of over pre-season. He got to play in the role that he'll probably play a fair bit in, and he had an impact tonight, which was great to see.
Did you have to really think hard about bringing him straight in? Obviously, new player at the club, and
No, not based on his pre-season. It was a very easy decision. We're not making it off 1 week or 2 weeks. We're making it off a body of work, and what we'd seen over the course of the pre-season, I think you just saw a little bit of that tonight, and so we were becoming more and more bullish about what he could do and the role he could play for us.
just one on Eddie Betts. Obviously, his family himself has gone through something pretty horrible. What's the club been doing to sort of get around him?
Well, I believe we've reached out over the course of the last little while, so it's only just come to my attention as well that's transpired, and I sit with the club's position on that. Just the cowardly approach to it all. I think we're sort of all really tired that it still exists, and we'll support him wherever we possibly can, and also for the courage he's been able to show to speak out. And one thing with Eddie is that he always comes from a really educational approach, and he's got amazing humility when it comes to that. When the temptation would be to, do something else, and so whatever we need to do, we'll certainly support where we can. Thanks, Cheers. You can go to bed now, mate.